Alrighty, so now that you know how to navigate the pre-game menus and start up a game, you're going to be put into the game here of League of Legends. You're going to be placed onto the Rift, and you're going to start playing, and then about a couple minutes in, once you have to back, you're not going to have any idea what to buy. So in this video, we're going to be going over exactly how the shop works and what you need to buy, and it's going to be brief, but it's just going to be a little overview. So I created this item list right here, and it's going to go over all the things that we're going to talk about. So first, starting items. So I kind of like devised this. We're just going to briefly discuss each one, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. So if you are an attack damage champion, you're doing damage and not abilities. You're doing basic attacks rather than using all of your skill shots and stuff like that. So you're going to want to buy either a Doran's Blade or a Longsword. It really just depends. You can kind of switch them going back and forth, but you buy one of these and then you buy a potion or a refillable potion and a ward. Same thing goes with ability power champions. You either buy an amplifying tome if you want extra AP, or if you want some more mana and health, then you go Doran's Ring. Doran's Shield is for tanky champions, people who have health, and then you just buy one of these items, then potions, and your ward. I'll go over warding in a totally separate video, but you always want to make sure you have them. If you're a jungler, however, you're going to be buying the Hunter's Machete or Talisman, and then you're going to buy either a ward or, more importantly, the Oracle Lens. And I'll explain jungling in a whole... It'll probably be multiple videos for jungling. So after you have your starting items, you go into lane, you do your thing, you're going to come back, and you're going to have a lot of gold. So if you're an AD champion, you're going to want to build into certain items. So you're going to... Doran's Blade is just a good general item, so you won't worry about that until you can sell it about halfway through the game. But if you have a longsword, you can use the longsword, and up here in this top corner, once you buy an item, it's going to let you know what items that item goes into. So let's say you are a little bit of a tankier attack damage champion, and they have a couple tanky people on their team. You're going to want to build into an item called Black Cleaver. Alright, so to get there, you see you have a longsword, and then Ruby Crystal builds into a Phage, Ruby Crystal and Kindle Gem, and then the Phage and Kindle Gem build into the Cleaver. So what you're gonna do is you have your longsword, alright, and you know you need a Phage. So click on Phage, see what I gotta move around because of the AFK warning, but then you see what you need to build. So you're gonna get a Ruby Crystal. If you have enough, you can just straight up buy the Phage, but if you don't, then you buy the Ruby Crystal, and then you're done. And so you build into these items. So you have Phage, Tiamat, Dirk, Warhammer, Vampiric Scepter, Pickaxe, and the BF Sword. All of these are good items to build into. Of course, depending on who you're playing, but in a general sense, if you buy any of these items, you'll be alright. So you want to build into these items right here, and then from here you can build into the late game attack damage. So your Phage is going to build into Black Cleaver, and so your goal is to get all of your 7 slots here, well, including a ward, but your 6 items, you want all of them to be final items. So you're going to have your Black Cleaver, your Youmuu's, Duskblade, Bork, Blade of the Ruined King, Bloodthirster, Hydra, and maybe Trinity Force if you're like an overall, like a rounded champion. So you want to be building your early game items into your late game items, and the same exact thing goes with AP. So for AP, you got the Blasting Wand, Wisp. If you have attack damage and AP, you'll build the Revolver, and you'll build it into Hextech Gunblade. So you want to be buying these mid-game items, and some of them will be on your recommended page. Phage right here is a recommended early item for me. So then we're going to be going that, because I'm playing Darius, we're going into Black Cleaver. That's a big one for him. The last thing I want to talk about here is armor and magic resist. So armor and magic resist is going to be important to have, but it's more important to know when to do it situationally. So if the enemy, let's say the enemy has a lot of attack damage champions, well, you're more than likely going to want to build a lot more armor over magic resist. If the enemy has a lot more AP, ability power champions, you're going to want to probably build magic resist over armor. Well, how much armor or magic resist do you buy? Well, it all depends. If you guys are completely stomping them, and they are really not that good, or they're not playing well, and they're not very fed. And what fed is they just have a lot of kills and they're a lot stronger because they have more gold and more items and whatever. So if they're not fed and they're not a lot of strong AP AD, then you don't really have to worry about too much armor or magic resist. But in the case that they are, well, you're gonna want to start building armor. If they have a lot of AP, then and an AP champion, like in this case, this Morgana bot has 4 kills and she's AP, so more than likely I'm going to want to build a little bit of magic resist for her, and if she gets even stronger, then a lot of magic resist. And same thing with armor, you just kind of have to know situationally, are they fed, are they AP, are they AD, are the fed guys AP or AD, and then from there you can buy your armor. Now, one thing you do need to notice though is that the armor and magic resist, a lot of these items stack into the damage items. A lot of them also have armor and magic resist on them. So, like for example, this locket has both armor and magic resist. Right here, this Banshee's Veil has ability power and magic resist. This one has ability power and armor. So a lot of these items you're going to be getting, and they're going to come with a little bit of armor on them anyways. But if you're going for armor, always a safe bet is Dead Man's Plate. If you're going for magic resist, always a safe bet is Spirit Visage. Those are like the 2 main ones. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about boots. So boots are very important, and you want to be building boots around right before or right after your first item, depending on how much gold you're getting and how the game is going. So with boots, let's say you come back and you can buy Ruby Crystal, you buy your Phage, and then you don't have enough for your Kindle Gem, or let's say you buy your Kindle Gem, but you still don't have enough for Black Cleaver. Well, then use that extra money, buy a pair of boots. They just give you more movement speed. You can only get 1 pair, and they don't stack or anything like that. But you buy your boots, and then later on in the game, or sooner, you can upgrade your boots into a certain thing. So like these boots give you more movement speed and attack speed. These boots give you armor and movement speed. These ones over here are going to give you magic penetration and movement speed. And some of them, they're just gonna, you want to just buy the boots according to your situation. So if you're an attack speed champion, you attack really fast, you want Berserker's Greaves. If you like moving around quick, you want Moby boots, or maybe Swifties. If you have a lot of AP in your ability power and you do a lot of damage, you want magic penetration, so you can penetrate through their magic resist. There's also armor and magic resist boots, just to help you onto whatever armor or magic resist you're stacking. And lastly, I want to discuss real quick that items that have certain passives, right? So if the Phage has Rage, alright, and then another item has also the unique passive and then Rage, the passives do not stack. And then that goes the other side of that is if there's a passive with no name, you see how it says passive Rage and then right here it's just passive lethality, those don't stack. So, or those do stack. So you can get as many regular passives as you want, but if they have a name to them, they don't stack. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the shop. This is just kind of a general understanding. And as you progress, you'll learn the items, learn what to build per champion, and just kind of figure it out that way.